Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another Q8 pilot stream. It is 2100 hours local time, 1800 Zulu. Welcome, chat. Rand Cooley, Chris, Stan, James, Drishal, Goal. We have Stan. I kind of missed you last couple of streams. V-Sky Check, welcome aboard. Darius, hello, my friend. Cap Water, Thomas 13, welcome aboard. We have also Tio Miniatis, I believe, Air Kerbers 001, welcome aboard. Pan Am 436, welcome aboard. Very glad to have you guys with me during this live stream. And today we are going to be flying from Boston Logan International Airport in the United States over to Harrisburg International, a scenery that has not yet released. It might be released just as we begin our stream this evening by Xometry or Xometry. I never really knew how to pronounce it, but it is one fine airport by this scenery developer, which we're going to be taking a look at once we arrive. Also featured today in this live stream is how to use the VNAV functionality aboard the Dash 8 Q400, the excellent aircraft and my absolute favorite for X-Plane 12. Our flight today is approximately 55 minutes in the air. We are flying from Boston Logan, runway 27, and we're going to be cruising at, I believe, 24,000 feet for the flight today, and arriving into runway 31 at Harrisburg International. And without further ado, let us get started. We are flying today in a fictitious livery. This livery by American Eagle is actually based or inspired by the Dash 8 Q300. So American Eagle does have a Dash 8 Q300, and this livery is based on that. I just felt that it was a really nice looking livery. Especially the part here, the engine, the paint on this aircraft looks really, really nice. So I thought, yeah, why not? Let's fly American this evening. Thomas, 13, welcome to Senior Captain, my friend. Thank you very much for your support. I appreciate it. FlyJSim, welcome aboard. Thank you very much for your congratulations. I appreciate it. Hello, Goal. Y Aviation, welcome aboard. There are so many cars, yes. Boston is a very busy airport, I suppose, and that's hence the multiple vehicles there. All right, we're going to get started here, folks. We're going to come to the EFB, and we're going to bring up SimBrief and load up the information. We're going to go to load and balance, or wait and balance, and select the load, and we're going to consult our SimBrief flight plan quickly here, moving down to our payload and weights. As you can see here, we have 56131 for the 0 weight, so 56131. That takes care of the payload and everything else, and passengers. Slightly different from what we see here based on the 0 fuel weight. And the fuel is 7165. We're just going to round this to 7300. So 7300. And enter that. Excellent. And finally, we can just put the time here, which is 0. And about 55 minutes of airtime. There we go. Excellent. Next, we can go to the load summary. We're going to make sure that everything is good. We are within the maximum allowed takeoff weight for this flight. Confirm the load and start loading. Okay, so things are getting... we're going to start loading after fueling is complete. And in the meantime, we can set up the aircraft. All right, so first thing first on the Dash 8 is bringing power to the aircraft. Battery master on, main battery, auxiliary, and standby. We're going to make sure the main bus tie is on. And next, we're going to move down here to the displays. And we're going to bring up the MFD And we're going to bring up the, let's see, the PFD. Actually, we can leave the PFD for now, but let's bring up the ED panel here. There we go. ED panel is on, and that way we can check the electrical charge on the battery, and we can also monitor the rest of the aircraft systems while we set things up. Okay, perfect. I love how this, by the way, this is exactly as it is in real life. So the flicker and the wait time is done exactly as the real world aircraft. Okay, perfect. So we are done here. Let's come up to the overhead panel. And we want to very quickly bring up the, why is the volume keep changing? All right. So the first thing you want to do on the Dash 8, because the battery discharges very quickly, is to either connect ground power unit or start the APU. In our case, we're going to start the APU, so we're going to click here on the APU control power button, and now we can test the APU fire test, as you can see here. Checks OK. We can see the bottle and the valve is closed, and once we release the test, we can see that the fuel valve is now open for the APU. Let's do the quick engine test here for engine fire. There we go. Both checks OK. And the baggage aft compartment 1 and 2, as well as the forward baggage compartment, and all checks are OK. Perfect. Next, we can start the APU. So we're going to click on Start. And next, we can come here and put the pitot static on the on position. We're going to put the windshield on norm and the pilot side window heat on. The ELT is, we can test it here. And now we have the generators. So we're going to click here and click on the bleed air. And now we have electrical supply to the aircraft by the APU. How are you doing, Drishal? Hello, Dougal. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you here with us this evening. Okay, so we have everything set here. We can turn on the recirc fan, and next we're going to turn on the non-smoking sign. Fasten seatbelt we can leave on as the aircraft is currently refueling. We'll arm the emergency light and turn on the position lights. Perfect. So everything is done here, and we can start programming the UNS device. So we're going to power up the rest of the aircraft displays since we have electrical power now. There we go. And we're going to turn on both UNS devices here, and we're going to turn on the radios as well. Perfect. And we're going to bring up the UNS device here. Okay. We'll wait for the device to power up. Takes a little bit of time. There we go. And the aircraft systems are coming to life. All right, I'm going to do a fast load here. All right, the door is closed, and we can turn on the fasten seatbelt sign. Perfect. Okay, so accept, and we're going to go straight to the flight plan, and we're going to bring up SimBrief flight plan here from our Navigraph interface, and we are interested in the, so 22,000 feet today for the flight, and there is our flight here. Okay, so Boston, from Boston, we're going to depart runway 27. We're going to select Boston, and we're going to select menu. Depart, runway 27 is number 9. So we're going to select number 9 and enter. There is no SID. And so enter, and then back to the flight plan. And next after, so we're going to fly direct to glide. So we're going to select number 2 and type glide and enter that, accept. Excellent. Next, we're going to fly direct to Bravo Alpha Foxtrot. So Bravo Alpha Foxtrot, and enter that. Brilliant. And then direct to Sasha. This is a strange name, isn't it? KMDT released on the Anybuild store. Oh, perfect. Perfect. If you guys, any of the mods, if you can copy the link of the Anybuild's link to the scenery and paste it in the chat, I would be very, very grateful. All right, so Sasha is the next one. So Sasha, and enter that. Perfect. Next, we are taking Airway Tango 2905. So we're going to use a list and select Airway, and that's Tango 2905. So that's number 1. And we're going to exit at Dumber. Strange one. All right, so Dumber is number 3. And enter that. Excellent. Then we are going to take Airway list and Airway Tango 2909er. So let's select the Airways. So that's number 2. And from number 2 there, we're going to exit at Huang. Huang is number 7. Excellent. And then from Huang direct to KMDT, or Harrisburg International. So Kilo Mike Delta Tango. And enter that, accept. And next we are going to go to the menu and arrive. And we're going to select the arrival runway, which is runway 31, number 2. We're going to enter that. There is no star. And we're going to be performing an ILS approach. So number 1. And enter that. No transition there. So we're going to select that. And next we're going to go to the flight plan. We're going to check the flight plan, make sure there are no discontinuities. There is one here, so we're going to delete that. And then from Huang, the approach into us is through the MT Joy, and then to Hintu, and from Hintu, it's runway 31. So it's direct from Hintu to 31. We're going to take notice of a few things before we depart. Because I do want to show you today, we're going to use the VNAV for descent. There are a few things that you need to do in order for VNAV to work properly on the Dash 8. I hope they update the Xometry Southern California Logistics Airport. That's a great place. Absolutely, of course. Anywhere in California for me is good in my book. All right, so we are done with that, and we can now come here to the electronic flight bag, and we are interested in these numbers. So we're going to go to fuel, and we're going to enter the 0 fuel weight. Again, you can type the passenger number of passengers, the cargo, or you can simply put the 0 fuel weight, 55921. So 55921, enter that, and the fuel on board is 7281. Obviously, the APU has been burning some fuel. You can see that. So this is properly simulated. So 7280, 7280. We are going to enter that, and we are now done with the flight plan. And we're going to bring up the next UNS device and accept. And we're going to master fill from FMS1. And now we are cross-filling the information from the previous, main UNS1 device. Okay, perfect. We'll leave this on VNAV, and we'll close that one. Now there are a few tests that we need to perform, so let's go ahead and do that. The first one here is the ADC test 1. So this is the speed, IS speed test, and that checks OK. And the stall warning test is next. Right, stall warning test.
Terrain.
Checks OK. And there is one more test here, which is the takeoff warning test is now done. Next, we can come here and test the GPWS test.
Pull up. Light slow. Pull up.
Okay.
Pull up.
Excellent. And we can also come here and test the auto feather system. So press and hold. And as you can see now, the test is performed. Up trim. It will take a little bit of time to test everything. Okay, perfect. We're going to come up here and we're going to make sure the anti-skid test is performed. Which checks OK, and then we'll leave it in the on position. All right. We are pretty much ready to start the engines now and push out of our position. Everything is set. It's still performing the test here, but everything else is set and ready to go. Perfect. All right. We are going to set the altitude here to 22,000 feet. Which is our cruise altitude today for the flight. That's easier that way. All right, so 22,000 is set, and the FMS nav source is FMS1. There we go. Excuse me. And we'll set nav source on this side to FMS1 as well. Pulse AV, welcome aboard. Hello, Robbie Yant, welcome aboard. Those that are considering purchasing the ATR from SFS should watch this to see how a real turboprop behaves. Yep. All right. So we've got everything here. Everything is set up here. We've got our radios, and all is looking good. Perfect. We're going to hit on Alt Select. And we can also come to this little spot here and get our speed. So we have a V1 of 131, V-rotate of 131, and V2 of 132. Excellent. So everything is now set up and ready to go. This needs to go to taxi. And we can now turn on the red beacon lights in preparation for push and start. Everything else has been properly tested, and the aircraft is in airworthy condition. We are ready to go. FlyJSim is making some great planes, eagerly expecting their 737-200 Plane 12 to bring back to life our nostalgic childhood flights. Absolutely. Anyone hide for the PMDG treble 777 from SFS? You can count me in, Dougal. All right. So everything here is good and ready to go. Let's go ahead and call the pushback truck. Start
Ground
push.
to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
Let's see. We're going to turn the aircraft this way. We'll put the aircraft on Bravo 1. There we go. I think that's good. There we go. And enter.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
All right, the tow is driving up. And in the meantime, let's just do a quick scan here to make sure everything is okay. Everything here is good. Everything here is good. All right. Everything is looking pretty good to me. Okay. All right. Here's the pushback truck. Do you guys think the Dash 8 is the best turboprop? As of this day, I believe the FlyJSim Dash 8 is by far the best turboprop available today for flight sim. Definitely. Right, we can remove the electronic flight bag now.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
All right, let's take a look here at the outside. Very cool pushback truck there. And
Winching strap and adapter in position. Release parking brake when ready to start pushback.
all right, we are ready for pushback. Parking brake is released. And the aircraft is being pulled forward towards the pushback truck. Is this plane also better than the ATR in MSFS? In what way?
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Well, for one, it flies better. All right. So we have clearance to start our engines. We're going to come here to the overhead panel, and we're going to select engine number 2 first and start. Notice the duct temperature once we hit on the start. Okay, and we can now, we are over, so we start and feather. You're supposed to do them one and after the other, but I have mapped all of them to work in one go, just for simplicity's sake. Okay, we have the engines now starting. There we go. Look at this majestic aircraft. Don't mind those cars. At least that one stopped. Notice the beacon light, and if you look at real-world footage of the Dash 8 in real life, the beacon light works exactly like what you see here. All right. Cancel that. Let's go ahead and start the engine number 1. There we go. Do you use, what do you use for AI traffic? I use Traffic Global by JustFlight. Hello, Sachin. Welcome aboard, my friend. All right. Perfect. All right, looks like we have a good start on both engines. Check out those sounds.
Operation complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
What do you guys think of those sounds? Pretty cool, huh? Just really an amazing aircraft by FlyJSim. All right, let's disconnect. All right. So a few things we need to do. First, let's bring up the airports chart here at Boston. And let's remove the SimBrief plan. So where are we right now? We are right here. We want runway 27, which is right
Tow is
here.
disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
So what we'll do, folks, is we are going, let me just, let's do done here. And, all right. So we are right here, and we want to take taxiway Charlie. So let me just very quickly show you what we want to do. I need to open it like that. Okay. So we're going to select, let's see, this blue color. Looks nice. And then we're going to select this one here. Okay. So we are at, currently here, we are going to go taxiway Charlie all the way right here, and then from Charlie we'll take Delta, and from Delta we'll make the turn to runway 27 for departure. So that's what we're going to be doing today as far as taxi is concerned. It's annotations in Navigraph charts is just simply amazing. All right. So the ground services are clear, ground equipment are clear, and we are ready to go. Let's come up here and let's make sure everything's set. Taxi lights are on, and this one's on red. Parking brake. We no longer need the APU, so we're going to turn off the bleed air, the gen, and the power, and you also turn off the main bus tie. We can turn on the bleeds. We'll just put this on normal for now, and we'll leave the bleeds off for until after we depart. Okay, we are ready to taxi, and we are going to taxi to taxiway Charlie, which is the next right from our position. So let's release the parking brake. We're going to set flaps to flaps 5. And we're good to go, folks. All right. Here we go. One thing I forgot, which is the steering. There we go. The sounds are simply amazing on this aircraft. All right, that's taxiway Charlie. Right, and we're going to cross the runway here and continue on Charlie. We'll just make sure there are no incoming aircraft. Left and right is clear. Gotta love the sounds when you put the throttle in beta. Just very, very cool. Right, as you can see here, we are on Charlie, and we're going to continue on Charlie and then take taxiway Delta for runway 27. It's definitely not free, and it is an aircraft that I highly recommend. Probably one of the best aircraft built for X-Plane and for flight sim, generally speaking. This is one aircraft that you absolutely must have. It's just really an amazing, amazing aircraft. Right, we're crossing runway 204 right, so let's check here. Clear on the left, clear on the right, and we're clear to cross the runway. Looks like there is an aircraft ahead of us there bound for runway 27. It is definitely worth every penny, Chris. Absolutely, absolutely. Hello, Benny. This plane is a challenge to land. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Beautiful scenery by Mr. X for X-Plane. And that would be taxiway Delta right here. So we're going to make the turn. These guys are taking another runway, I suppose. So if we look here at our chart, where are we? Let me remove that. Yeah, that's taxiway Delta right there. That's Spirit Airlines taking off. Bon voyage, my friend. Pretty cool, huh? This airport, by the way, this airport, Mr. X Airport of Boston, is free of charge, is a freeware scenery. All right, here's taxiway Delta with proper markings, custom runways, custom buildings. Very, very nice work by Mr. X for X-Plane 12 and X-Plane 11 for that matter. Right, here we go. Let's cross runway. I'm not sure which runway, but this guy can wait for us to pass, and then he can take off. So hopefully ATC would not clear him until we've passed. All right, here we go. Brilliant. Bit of a long taxi to the runway. Oof, that guy definitely did not wait for us. But definitely a very nice scenery of Boston there for X-Plane 12 and totally free of charge. So many thanks to Mr. X for his immense and countless contributions to the FlyJSim community. All right, we're getting closer now to the runway. We can slow things down a little bit here. I'm going to go to the far end and make a right turn. And we're going to set up our range here so we can see things clearly. Excellent. I'm going to turn off the weather radar or the terrain radar here. And all right, so let's get things ready. We're going to turn on our landing lights. And then the strobe lights is the anti-collision white. So this is both of them. And everything else is good. Let's release the control lock. And we're going to move the throttles to flight low. All right. Excellent. All right. There we go. That's our turn. Runway 27. We are cleared for takeoff. There we go. The props also act spoilers if you put the... Yes, that is correct. When you put them in beta, they act as reversers. That is very true. And here is our beloved Dash 8 Q400 ready for takeoff. Right, our rotation speed is 131 knots. We are cleared for takeoff, and look at this, is going to be a beautiful departure out of Boston. And here we go. Looking good. V1, rotate. Bit of wind there. Positive rate. Gears going up.
Terrain.
All right. Looking good. We are at 500 feet. Let's retract the flaps. Right, 800 feet AGL. Props back to 900. And we'll continue to gain speed. Looking good. Right, about 210. Excellent. Yaw damper on. Autopilot on. And we're going to go to nav. All right, LNAV is on, and IAS at 229. There we go, and we are now climbing to our cruise altitude of 22,000 feet. We forgot a couple of things. So normally you should have the auto feather on and the fuel auxiliary fuel pumps on for takeoff. and then you would turn them off. So that was my bad. And here is a look there at Boston as we depart. Lovely looking aircraft, the Dash 8 Q400. Just my absolute favorite in X-Plane 12. Look at that. All right, so we are at 4,000, looking good. Again, we should have turned on the hydraulic, the PTU for takeoff. Those were missed. Very challenging aircraft. Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get used to it, without a doubt. Literal Games, welcome aboard. Glad to have you here with us. 737 MAX and MAX 9 has been good for me so far for X-Plane 12. 737 MAX. Huh. You're using the pirated 737 MAX, I suppose. Right, looking good. 5,000. By the way, if you wanted to change the speed, you can use the nose down and up. That will change the speed when IAS is enabled. When VS is enabled, so when, let me just show you guys here. So if you select IAS, this selector works as the speed control, and when you, so it will change the aircraft speed, as you can see here. And if you switch to vertical speed, by changing this, you will change the vertical speed. So it's a multi-purpose sort of selector there for you. All right, we continue our climb, 7,000 for 22,000. Lovely, lovely aircraft. Yeah, SBU and PTU should have been turned on for departure, and then after about 1,400, you turn them off. So, so yeah. So normally this the standby hydraulic and PTU control would be turned off after departure, and so is the auxiliary fuel pumps and the auto feather. Those buttons are the standby hydraulic as well as PTU control, and the auxiliary fuel pumps are turned back on for landing, but not the auto feather. Thank you, V-Sky Check. Hello, Carl Childers. Welcome aboard, my friend. Kind of missed you in the stand in the last couple of streams. Right, 9,000. Landing lights off. And taxi lights off. Let's go ahead and release the passengers as well. And we continue our climb. Let's take a quick look at the cabin. There we go. Nice custom cabin there with the American Airlines seats. And we can see the beautiful engines there. Look at that, guys. Just gorgeous, isn't it? Our next flight is more than likely going to be another X-Plane stream, and we're going to be revisiting the Hot Star Challenger 650. We're going to be doing, again, a full flight, following the proper checklists for the Challenger. I still haven't decided on the route. Fun fact, Auto Feather was only certified for takeoffs by the manufacturer, although it can work in any phase of flight, but they just took certification for takeoffs. That's very, very good information. It is a fun fact, without a doubt. yeah, the Challenger 650 is a great aircraft developed by a very capable developer. Makes it really the best and most complex study level and intricate simulation of an aircraft for flight sim, without a doubt. All right, we are at 13,000. We're looking good. Let's do a quick cinematic flyby. And there's the Dash 8 for you guys. Gorgeous looking aircraft. And the customer support, yes, I agree. They've got a really good Discord. We need to turn on the bleeds. That's what it's complaining about. It's complaining about the cabin pressure. All right, so yeah, you forget it. You'll if you forget the bleeds, obviously, you know, you'll get into trouble. All right, we continue the climb. We're at 15,000 feet for 22,000 feet. Everything's looking good. Hi, Captain. I just got a computer with i9 9900K and RTX 4070, and having used your video for X-Plane 12 performance, I still find myself having stutters and low performance. Any tips? 4070, i9 9900. The one thing that I would recommend you check is the temperatures of your CPU while the simulator is running. Another thing that I highly recommend that you do is if you've installed multiple graphic drivers. So if you have been updating your drivers, I suggest that you use DDU to remove all the installations, all the previous installations, and do a new one, like a fresh install of the latest driver. It works pretty good. All right, we're approaching 18,000 feet, which is the transition altitude in the United States. So we're going to come here and set the Barrow to standard, 29902, and I have auto sync enabled, so we have them both here. And by the way, on the Dash 8, if you want to set the TCAS, you press and hold here, and now you have the TCAS working. Right, we're looking good. 17,000 or 18,000 for 22. We're looking good. Followed by the tip to get driver 54. Actually, Global 6000, you no longer need driver 546.45. Download the latest driver, and just make sure that you use DDU. You have to remove the current NVIDIA driver in safe mode. There are many tutorials on the net on how to do that. Remove it and install the latest driver, which is very, very, very good. Okay. I've tested the latest driver, which was released on the 16th, which is today, and it works very, very well with X-Plane. Yeah, doing a clean install is extremely important, especially if you've gone through multiple driver updates. Then definitely I recommend that you do a clean install, remove all the drivers, and it will remove everything basically. So if you have settings done in your control panel, they will be reset as well. And my recommendation is to follow what I've shown you in my settings video. I think Stan has already posted the link there. Thank you very much, Stan, for that. And that is going to help you with the stutters. But be sure to also check the temps of your CPU. That's very, very important. Grishal, I don't think you need to do a full clean install of Windows, but you need to do a clean install of the driver. So if you use DDU to remove the driver, just do that, because installing Windows is just terrible if you had to do that. But if you do a clean install of the drivers, it should be sufficient, at least in my experience. Right, 2,000 feet to go. We are looking good, folks. And the weather is quite nice today during our route to Harrisburg International Airport. And if we look at SimBrief here, let's do one thing. Let's do that, and let's maximize this, and let's remove it. And now we can zoom out. So this is where we are. We continue the climb. This is our destination airport. So we're looking good. Alrighty. Almost at our cruise altitude. Alright, we can actually increase the speed a little bit. So I'm gonna put the speed at 230 knots. Right? And that, yeah, 230 knots should be fine. Is a fine airport, by the way. Is it, Carls? I haven't been there before, so definitely, definitely you'll be if you've been there. I think it will be very nice to hear your comments about the scenery, which has released, according to you guys, just on the Inabuild store. We have with us Eric. Hello, Eric. Welcome aboard, my friend. Glad to have you with us this evening. Pulling the props back to minimum will allow you to place the throttles in the flight detent and not overspeed. That is correct, yes. As soon as we are at 22,000, you would retard the props to 850, and then you can put this in flight idle. In flight detent, sorry, flight detent, which is right about here. Right, looking good here, and let's see. Torque is good, temps are good, everything is exactly as it should. No problems there. All right, about 500 feet until cruise altitude. Hello, Mark. Welcome aboard. Marek. Welcome aboard. Glad to have you with us this evening. The issues I've been having with my ISP have been resolved, thankfully. So I didn't have to use VPN today. I'm very happy about that. Calm weather today. For a change. We've been flying in very bad weather, I think, for the past, I don't know, 10 streams. So what do you guys like? Do you really like emergencies, engine fires and things like that? I think just based on my experience, folks really dig that. What do you guys think? Do you think that we'll have more more emergencies and things like that? Would you prefer to have that over, those kind of relaxed flights? All right, we are at 22,000 feet, so we're going to bring the throttles, the props back to 850, and we can retard the throttles a little bit there. All right, there we go. Let me bring them back. All right. And we are now at about 63% thrust. We're holding 234 knots, and we'll keep it that way. All right. So now, folks, let me bring up the lights here a little bit. Things are kind of getting dark, so let's bring up the lights. All right. All right. So in order for us to use VNAV, there are a couple of things that we need to do. First, let me bring up the INS, and we are going to take a quick look at our flight plan. So let me just make this a little bit smaller so you guys can follow along. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to VNAV and the target vertical speed. We are, by the way, right now from MTJOY, which is the transition into our approach, we are at 240 nautical miles. Now, I want to descend at about what is comfortable for passengers is about 1,000 feet per minute. So we are going to set this at 1,000 feet per minute. So 1,000 and enter. Now what you can see is you can see TOD at 164 nautical miles, but if you go to the actual display here you will not be able to see TOD yet. What we need to do is we need to go to our flight plan, and we are going to scroll down, and we're going to find a restriction. So let's see here. What do we have? All right. So if I look over our flight plan, we have 22,000 feet, 21, and then we have a restriction here at 16. So what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to go and select like this one here. LAAYK, all right, and I am going to, so I'm going to go to the flight plan, go next to like this one here, right, so number 12, and I'm going to enter 16,000 here and say enter. And now if I remove this and if we go to plan, so let me just come over here, right, so if I go to plan format, and that's our plan there, and I go next and next. Why is it not showing? Okay, there we go. All right, so let me go to previous. All right. So you can see it's kind of over this here. You'll be able to see the TOD there. You can see there's 16,000 there. Okay. So we'll be able to see the top of descent once we are closer. But for now, if I go to VNAV, all right. So now I have a LALAC at 16,000, 131, 105. You can see that the distance has changed to 141 nautical miles. If you go to VTO now, you'll be able to see the vertical speed to like, right? So we'll be able to now use VNAV in order to descend, and at 1,000 feet per minute, approximately, that's 1,017 in 103 nautical miles. So all the calculations are now done for us, and the only thing we need to do is reset the MCP altitude, and the aircraft should enable VNAV, and the aircraft will descend. Okay, so format here, we'll put it back on our format, and there we are here at Sasha. So quite a bit before we arrive into top of descent, but not too long from now. And you'll be able to see the TOD written there on the display. Exactly the reason behind it is to be able to shortcut by ATC in a good manner. If you move the wipers vertical, there will be less noise. Yeah, you can do that for sure. There you go. There. You do get less noise for sure. And that is brilliant that they've actually modeled this. Very, very accurate. Hi Q8, I flew this flight a bunch as a kid. So super cool to see you doing it. Although they didn't fly the Q4 specifically, the sounds bring back so many memories from these cute planes. Absolutely. If you ever need any information, myself and others are here to assist. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. You guys are a great bunch. All right. We are looking good, folks. And if we look at VNAV, so again, you have to do the same thing here. So let me go to VNAV. First, we're going to go to LIAC here. And we are going to enter the 16,000 on this side as well. Enter that. Then we're going to go to VNAV. And we're going to say 1,000. There we go. Enter that. We are at 90 nautical miles. And if you go to VTO, then we can see like there. Excellent. All right. Back to flight plan. Actually, we'll leave this on VNAV. We have this one here on the flight plan. All right, so if we go now to VNAV, you'll see that 90 nautical miles and 1,036. Now let's go to, if we go to Navigraph and look at the telemetry information here, you will see the, let me just make this a little bit bigger. All right. So we're showing 473. We'll wait until we are at the top of descent, and then we're going to look at the number. And my hunch is that when we are at the top of descent point, you'll see that this number changes, and it's going to very closely match the 1,000 that we've entered there. Okay, TOD and 87 nautical miles. Perfect. Okay. And here is a cinematic flyby. So what do you guys think of this idea? Do we do like a series, like we take 3 streams in one aircraft? So we'll do like 3 streams in the Dash 8 with return flight. So we'll fly a real world route and then do the return flight. Or do you like more variety during our streams? If you like, you know, the kind of series, we can definitely do series like the Dash 8 series, or we can continue what we've been doing for the past, I don't know, for the past 9 years, I suppose, which is a variety of aircraft without really having to do a series. If you did that, you'd accomplish a few things, the least of which is categorizing your content to easily build on one another by episode. Yeah, that's the idea, Carl. But I'd kind of like to, you know, get your take on it. What do you guys think? Hey, Ozzy, welcome aboard, my friend. DavCat 1458. Series much easier to learn and retain information. All right, perfect. If that's what you guys like, then we'll definitely plan those series. And kind of, you know, it's kind of also a good opportunity when we make mistakes in one of the flights, then in the next episode we try to avoid those mistakes. I like the idea. What do you all think? It's very much driven by your opinions and thoughts. Absolutely. I like more series about regions with different planes, like Q8 pilot, like tours. Oh, okay, gotcha. Got you, Benny Benny. And thank you very much, Benny Benny, for your outstanding support. Okay. Let me increase the range. All right. So here now, if you look here, you can see TOD. So we can now definitely see the top of descent marked in the display. And again, just to sum up, guys, the two things that you need to do is you need to find one of the restrictions along your path, or enter the altitude at which you need to be at along your flight path, and just pick a point that is a little bit farther from your current position and enter the altitude just like we did here. Right, so you can see here I've entered 16,000 and I've grabbed this number from the flight plan. And the next thing you need to do is you need to go to VNAV and input the target vertical speed, which I've selected as minus 1,000. And this is something that is comfortable for our passengers. Once you have done these two things, you will see the TOD in the display here, and the aircraft will descend exactly at the top of descent mark that you see now here in the display, provided that, of course, you reset the MCP altitude. Speaking of that, let's go ahead, since we are getting closer to our the top of descent mark. We're gonna come here and take a look at Harrisburg runway 31. So approach and runway 31. Let's bring up the overlay, and we'll take a note of the frequency, which is 110.9er, and the final approach course is 308 degrees. The platform altitude is 2,200 feet. So was it 2,200 or 3,000? It is 2,200. MT Joy at 3,000, 2,200 at Hinto. So we are going to reset the MCP altitude to 2,200 feet. Right, that's 2,200 is now set. And if we click here, that is our approach speed, 138 knots. All right, perfect. Take care, Sachin. And thank you guys for your likes. I appreciate that. Okay, so now we are looking good. And top of descent in 64 nautical miles. Put the flight plan there. And the frequency. Okay, so the ILS frequency is 110.9er. We're going to come down here, and you'll notice we already have 110.9ers already set. And you'll notice that once you select an ILS frequency, it will say ILS. If you select a VOR station, it will write here VOR. All right, perfect. Coming down here, everything here is looking good. So 110.9er, excellent. And the only thing is setting up the course for the approach a little later on. Okay, good stuff. 29902 is already set here, and we are all good. What do you guys think of this American Eagle livery? It's pretty cool, huh? Click Alt Select. Yes, thank you for that. Alt Select is selected, so the aircraft would stop at 2,200. Glad you like it, Carl. Yeah, the aircraft is definitely very, very cool. One of the things I like about this aircraft is the fact that you can also play with this cabin lights here. So now it's actually a daylight, but you can adjust the temperature here, and you can turn the lights on and off. Maybe we'll play with this once we land. I'll show you how this is done. You can change the temperature as well to make sure your passengers are comfortable. You can play with the windows there. You can open the compartments as well. And you can also put the food tray table right there. Pretty cool. Fully interactive cabin. You can open the doors. Yeah. It's a pretty cool aircraft. They definitely did a brilliant job on this aircraft, Carl. Yeah. All right, so TOD is in 50 nautical miles. We've got everything set up. The only thing now we need to do is to click on VNAV once we are closer to the top of descent mark. And the aircraft will begin the automatic descent. This aircraft is great, but I do wish it was slightly better on FPS. I get 15 to 20 FPS less on this than Tola's Zibo, which means around the UK I'm getting like 20 FPS, but it's very detailed. Well, I wonder why you're getting low FPS, because it used to be very heavy on performance, without a doubt, but in the last few updates, the performance has been optimized greatly. I used to suffer with this aircraft, but not anymore. As a matter of fact, what are we getting now? We're getting about 60 FPS right now. So, and on the ground at Boston, I was getting about 45, something like that. Raul Rodriguez, good afternoon to you. No worries at all, my friend. I'm glad that you've made it. If you close the cockpit door, you can gain a few FPS. Really? Well, let's check that out. Let's bring up the FPS counter and let's close the door and see if we get some FPS. Ah, you are right. The FPS does jump a little bit. That's strange, but true. I've not tried for 2 weeks, so I'll take another look. I only have an i5, for which is my bottleneck. So that, oh, I see. I got you, Trishal. Yeah. That might be the issue. Yeah, I agree. Okay, we are looking good. Everything is set. I'm going to turn the heading selector there to our current heading. There we go. Look at those props. Right, I'm going to decrease the range here a little bit. There we go. You know, I think developers should, for usability, I think it would be a great option to have two versions of the aircraft, one with a passenger cabin and one without, especially those really complex aircraft. I think it would help a lot of folks who have, you know, low-end or mid-range machines and really want to enjoy a smooth experience. Obviously, even the textures can bring your VRAM down, so if they are in high resolution, then it will consume a lot of VRAM and thus brings your machine on its knees. So that would be a really nice option. Yeah, definitely, I know I do get a lot of texture compression, yeah. Hello, Matthias. Welcome aboard, my friend. Right, we're almost there now. 31 nautical miles before top of descent. At around the 5 nautical mile mark, we are going to hit VNAV, and we'll watch the aircraft do its thing. Right, let me set the heading bug. Right, heading bug is set. Here's our top of descent. There we go. TOD. Right, I will be right back, guys. All right, we are almost at top of descent, and we have abbreviation. I'm getting to catch you live for once. We have a quiet time change between us. Greetings from Palm Springs, California. Oh, from Palm Springs, California. Welcome aboard. I'm coming to you guys in June. Very, very excited about FS Expo this year. And, yeah. Have the Q800s been phased out by most carriers these days? I believe so. Such a great, great aircraft. I believe, Matthias, this specific livery that we're flying today is that of the Dash 8 Q300, and that's, I think, what American had. But yeah, it was inspired by the Q300, but I decided to use it today for our stream. All right, if we look down here now at the top of descent, we can see that top of descent is in 13.1 nautical miles. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here and click on VNAV, and it says FD mode inhibit. Right, so we're going to leave it. And momentarily, we should be able to see the little, the glide slope, or the little squares appear here as we get closer to the descent point. Right, we're looking good. I think maybe at 10 nautical miles or so, it would show. Right, so there's a message here. It says top of descent alert. Okay, and you will only get this if you've programmed it. Otherwise, you will not see that. So there we go here. All right, now you can see here we have the vertical speed indicator right here. Or the altitude. This is the and as it moves down, once it reaches this point here, below that the aircraft will begin the descent. So we're looking good. Everything is working exactly as it should. And we'll just watch the descent profile indicator. Thank you very much, Carl. All right, we can see now the descent profile indicator moving down as the aircraft approaches the top of descent. Here, let's take a look here. VNAV is active. I don't know if you need to click it twice, but it's definitely active. You need to press VNAV again. All right, there we go. All right, thank you guys. All right, so VNAV is now selected. Thank you guys, appreciate it. And you should be able to see VNAV path displayed in just a little bit. Right, so here, if we look here, we can see there is some vertical deviation. There we go. VNAV path is now active, and the aircraft is going to begin the descent, as you can see here. There you go. See that? Works perfect. Is just perfect. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, how you set up the aircraft for a VNAV descent in the Dash 8. Yeah, we are descending at about 1,200, 1,100. So I think that's okay. We'll leave it there. We need to retard the throttles, and we need to go back to 900 props. Okay, let's ease off on the power here. There we go. Excellent. All right, and we are on our way to Harrisburg International. Let's go ahead and grab the altimeter real quick. So the weather at our destination airport is... winds are calm, visibility 10 miles, scattered clouds at 2,000, scattered at 20,000, it's saying. I think it's 2,000. Temperature's 21, altimeter's 3013. Okay, 3013, perfect. We're looking good. I hope a Dash 8 comes out to MSFS soon, otherwise XP will always an option. I think XP will, X-Plane 12 will always be an option, even with a Majestic Dash 8 in MSFS. You still don't have a hot start Challenger 650 in MSFS, so there you go. We are definitely spoiled for choice, without a doubt. All right, we're approaching 3013, so let's come down here. 3013. Right, 3013 is set. We're going to reduce our speed a little bit. And the aircraft is definitely, the autopilot system is controlling the aircraft rate of descent so that it can reach 16,000 at like. There, we're looking good. And then it will pick up the profile to the next waypoint, which is Let me show you here real quick. So if we go next, so it will be the MT Joy is the one that it will pick up the profile for. And there we need to be at 4,459. All right, so let's click here. All right, there we are. Excellent. We're looking good. Apparently, if I understand what has been said in the FGS Discord, the 7.3 and 727 will have the UNS-1 as a navigation option. Oh, really? Well, that is really, really cool if they do that. They already have the... Q8 is the engine start procedure different in cold temperatures. I seem to have some trouble starting the engines when it's cold. Welcome aboard, Flying Scotsman. I believe so. I am not for sure. But maybe Carl can help us there. Normally, a cold engine start is... there are certain different procedures with different airlines, but I really am not sure if it's the case with the Dash 8. There are a few things, all right. So Carl here is telling us that there are a few things that are different. Right, we are at exactly 16,000, making the turn. Now we are maintaining our descent profile. Look at that, folks. Wow. The Dash 8 Q400 by FlyJSim. Right, we are at 15.7 for 2,200 feet. It is definitely beautiful, yeah. So what do you guys think? Should we do another Dash 8 flight next, or should we do the Challenger 650, or should we do the Leonardo MD-80 in MSFS? What do you guys think? All right, let me give it just a little bit of throttle here to maintain our speed. There we go. All right, we're going to maintain this speed here and continue the descent. Leonardo, rotate MD-11. I think if you have a block of instruction for any particular plane, do that. If that is the Dash 8, great. All right. X-Craft E-Jets will be nice. We are actually, Drishal, going to do the FAS, the Flight Procedure Simulation E-Jet series. I've been working with the developer. They are currently preparing a special livery for the channel. So we are going definitely to be doing that in the coming days. You should fly to Ocean Reef Club 07 Foxtrot Alpha. If I can remember that, I will definitely do it. I wish X-Rat would update the E-Jet sounds. I think there is a sound set available by Mango Studios, but according to Marco, the developer of the X-Craft E-Jets, the sounds that are on the X-Craft today are from the real aircraft. So, right, Let's decrease the range here as we descend. Right, looking good. Waypoint alert. In real life, you cut power too early, you will land like a damn pancake. Yep, that is very true. The Dash 8 is very is very sensitive to that for sure. Right, 14,000 for 2,200. We're looking good. Done that in this bird many times. Got to keep an eye on that power. Yes. So one thing to learn, or one thing to note about the Dash 8 when you come to land the Dash 8 is to let really the aircraft land itself and not cut the power until the main landing gear has hit the ground pretty much. If you don't do that, you will more than likely just fall out of the sky and it will be a very, very violent landing. So yeah, it takes some practice to land the Dash 8. The props create an immense, will settle itself most often. Yeah, for sure. Setting trim is tricky to get it right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is, without a doubt. Right, we're looking good. Nice time of day as well for our arrival. Hello, Stefan. Just got back from school and I'm so happy to see this. Well, I'm very happy to have you here with us. Welcome aboard. Absolutely, Dougal. Yeah. Yeah, the Flying Scotsman, I agree with you. I like the... I really enjoy the aircraft that require some workload. Such as the 742 by Felis, the Hot Start Challenger 650, the Dash 8. Those aircraft are just really, really fun aircraft to fly and learn. And the more you learn about them, the more you are dazzled as to, you know, the engineering that went behind those aircraft. Sorry to ask again, but shouldn't you select 15 for landing? We are going to select 15 for landing, yes. We can do it in the last approach phase, but this is what you're talking about right here. So the GPWS landing flap is going to be selected at 15, as we are going to be doing flaps 15 for the arrival today into Harrisburg International. And we are looking good. We continue the descent very comfortably to 2,200 feet. So our passengers are enjoying the ride. Let me check one thing here. If we do storm, yeah, you can still see the lights. The lights are quite nice. Look at this detail here. These are actually the lights that illuminate the instrument panels, and these are modeled just exactly like the real aircraft, which is pretty cool. We'll take a look maybe at the
John F. Kennedy International Altimeter 3014.
All right, let's change this. There we go. So it doesn't bug us during the flight. What's the reason behind not using flap 35 SOPs? I think it's the landing at flaps 35 makes the landing actually a tad more difficult, if you ask me, just because it would create more drag. And with the Dash 8, you don't really want drag when you're coming to land. And so it really does make the landing you know, a tad more difficult. And so I think the pilots prefer flaps 15. I am not really sure if it's part of the SOP, but yeah, flaps 15 is a lot easier than flap 35. Right, so our speeds have changed. We have 146, 126 here. So somewhere in between, maybe 140 knots would be good. We are approaching 11,000. There we go. Looking good. Flaps there require higher power settings. Yeah. Because of the drag, correct, Carl? I agree, especially in windy conditions. It gets blown about a lot with full flaps. Yeah. And the main reason is I believe the drag is a lot more. And so the aircraft would require a lot more power. Induced drag, yeah. That's what I thought. All right, 10,700. We're going to come here, turn on the landing lights, and fasten seatbelt signs are on. What else here? Everything here is good. Right, looking good. Why is the X-Plane so much of an FPS eater? I mean, I get more FPS on MSFS. I think that largely depends on your system, the kind of scenery that you're flying at. And of course, MSFS is more optimized if you have frame generation, that is. Without frame generation, I don't think there is much of a difference between the two, really, in terms of performance. Thank you very much, Stan, for posting the link to the airport. Yeah, I mean, obviously I do have the RTX 4090, so I do get, you know, very, very good frames with MSFS, far more than X-Plane. And I sure do hope that Laminar would bring optimizations, especially for multi-core support in the near future. I have almost the lowest settings and even 3J FPS, and I still get below 20 FPS. Really? Wow. I'm glad that you are getting decent performance V-Sky Check, and I'm very glad that those tutorials have helped you. Absolute default X-Plane 12 and its planes, you can get amazing frames until you fly planes like this or the Zebo mod. Then settings have to come down. Yeah. I still am flying very decent settings, so everything's pretty much maxed out, with the exception of the world objects and the distance, the LOD. Right, looking good. Right, we're going to start easing off a little bit here on the power. Right, there we go. We're looking good. Ground speed is 260. And that indicates that there is a headwind. Right, we are looking good, folks. We're almost there now. Still descending at about 500 feet per minute. The only problem with X-Plane 12 is the anti-aliasing. I agree. And the shimmering, especially in VR, it's terrible. Yes, I agree with that statement. I really hope they fix the anti-aliasing. It's really, really annoying. Right, we are looking good. Let me set my heading bug here. There we go. It's going to be a really nice approach this time of day. All right, I'm going to ease off on the throttle now. We're going to bring our speed down to about 180 knots or so. We're looking good. I highly recommend, guys, that you look at the graphics settings video that I've created for X-Plane 12 if you're having issues or just don't know what would work for you. I explain them in the graphics settings video for X-Plane 12. I explain everything in great detail. Each setting is very carefully analyzed, and I tell you exactly how they affect performance. And I also include in that video a recommended guide for high-end, medium-end, and low-end machines. So if you are having issues with FPS, I highly recommend that you watch the graphic settings video for X-Plane 12. Right, we are almost at our destination, ladies and gents, and I'm thoroughly enjoying this Dash 8 flight. Let's see here, everything there. We can turn on those lights. What do we have here? Nothing. By the way, all the circuit breakers are modeled on the FlyJSim, so you can definitely simulate any sort of failure you like. Right, let's turn them on this side as well. Let's see if we can get the storm dome lights slightly. You can see them slightly now, but yeah, we'll check them out once we land. Right, we're looking good. So many lights in this plane. Love it. Yeah, definitely. Look at the sky color in X-Plane. Very nice indeed. All right, let's give it some power. There we go. And we'll continue the descent to 2200. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to flight factor. It just seems to be taking ages for the aircraft to come out. They were pretty close to release, and then I'm not sure what happened, honestly. All right, let's, okay. So now we're gonna go to props max. We are going to turn on the standby hydraulic and the PTU control. The auxiliary fuel pumps are on in preparation for landing. Q8 pilot, can I get a high? I'm not sure I follow you there, Dark. Because the Flight Factor team actually contacted me regarding streaming the aircraft, so kind of to provide me early access with the Flight Factor 777. And then it was delayed, and then it was delayed further, so I really am not sure what's going on there. Oh, well, hello, Dark. Welcome aboard, my friend. You just want a hi. Well, hello. Welcome. Oh, got you. Okay. Welcome, my friend. I must have been thinking of X-Plane 11 with the 767. 757 needs more love for sure, though. Yeah, the 757 is a fine aircraft by Flight Factor. Right, 5,700 for 2,200. So we are almost there now, folks. At MT Joy, we will change everything. We'll put the approach course. I believe the approach course was 308. Okay, so 308, perfect. Excellent. Just look at this beautiful sight of this beautiful plane. Right, I'm gonna start reducing our speed. We're looking good. And bleeds off for arrival. Perfect. And we're going to probably bring the aircraft to 160 knots or so. We are at 5,000 for 2,200 feet. No, I feel sad. I didn't get it. Can the 146 auto land? I don't think so. I've always loved being a passenger's absolute rock. Yep. QA Pilot, I need to watch more of your vids on this plane. I still have a lot to learn. Well, welcome aboard, my friend. If you have any specific questions, please do let me know. I'm more than happy to help you. All right, here we go. We're going to reduce the range here. We're looking good. I think we can turn on the lights now. There, yeah, now you can see the lights. Look at how beautiful this is, guys. Looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. So what we're going to do as soon as we make the turn is, okay, so one thing we can do now is we can go to approach, and we're going to select the nav source to ILS1. There we go. Do we have the approach? There we go. Approach. Okay, so localizer and glide slope. Okay. We are on the glide slope and we're turning towards the runway, which is ahead of us now. And we are looking good. Oh, look at this sky color, guys. Looks gorgeous. Right. Let's ease off on the power here. And the airport is in sight. We are looking good. We are on the glide slope and almost on the localizer. Continue to reduce the speed. Speed check, flaps 5. Okay, let's give it some power here. All right, perfect. And let's go ahead and select gear down. Very nice animations there of the landing gear coming down. Speed check and flaps 10. Right, so that's flap 10 and one more flap setting there. All right, so let me just give it some power here. Right, and we want to maintain this speed until our arrival. At 1,000 feet, we will disconnect the autopilot and land the aircraft manually. Look at those beautiful lights, guys, inside the cockpit. Very, very nice. Right, we're looking good. And speed check. Flaps 15. Right, clear to land, runway 31. The gear is good. Perfect. We have to be very careful with the power. We have the runway side, very nice and calm weather. Visibility is great. All right, let's go ahead and disconnect the autopilot. Autopilot disengaged. My aircraft. Very slight wind. Keep trimming the aircraft.
Terrain. Terrain.
500.
Terrain. Terrain.
A little bit too low.
Terrain. Terrain.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Harrisburg International. Right, we can go to manual braking. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed that landing. Now, I'm tempted to do a replay, but I'm not sure if it's going to work or not. So what do you guys think? Should we do the replay? Yeah, I kept the power until we've actually hit the ground. Sure, give her a try. Okay, let's try that, and then we'll come back and so let me just close. Let me close Active Sky. There we go. So let's close Active Sky, and let me also turn off Traffic Global. Where is Traffic Global? Traffic Global, right there. So we're going to close both of these. They can be, they've proven to be culprits. So let's see. There we go. Let's see if that works. Go a little bit faster. There we go. Maybe if we do it slower, it would work. Hopefully. All right, we can do it faster now. All right.
50. 100.
Terrain. Terrain.
All right, here we go. The replay worked. That is just a beautiful approach. What do you guys think? Let's do it again. There we go. It's pretty cool, huh? All right. Let's see. Toggle replay. All right. There we go. Look at the lights, guys, inside the cockpit. Just looks absolutely amazing. All right, here we go. We can now retract the flaps. Taxi lights on. Landing lights off. And then we can go to the beacon light. Position light we can leave. That's fine. And power. Start the APU. I'm not sure where I made the turn here, but it doesn't look like the right one. Guys, look at this airport. Wow, look at those nice buildings there. Okay, and this is by Xometry or Xometry. And it is available right now for purchase at the InnyBuild store. Oh, look at that. Pretty cool. FBO. Looks like a very detailed airport. We'll take a look, of course, as soon as we land. As soon as we park at the gate, we'll take a look at the airport. But the night lighting in the Dash 8 is, without a doubt, dazzling. Look at that. Looks gorgeous. Here's the main terminal area. I really like the, if you look at the grass here, the 3D grass that they've developed here, looks very nice. And I'm very glad that we have Carl with us this evening, because Carl has been to this airport, so he'll be able to tell us how accurate or inaccurate the scenery is from a from a scenery perspective. It does look very, very nice, I have to say. I like the night lighting, the detailed texturing of the custom taxiways and runways. You can see the light scattering there on that building is done quite nicely by the guys over at Xometry or Xometry. And we are now heading to the main terminal area to bring the aircraft to a complete stop. We can go ahead and turn on the generator and turn on the bleed air. And maybe we can bring it to a stop somewhere here. We don't need the gate area. You have got to love the I'll just bring it to this first gate here. You have got to adore the night lighting inside the Dash 8. Very, very nice. Right, there we go. Right, stand A3. And there we go. Parking brake is set. And let's see here. We have the APU gens on already, so we can kill the fuel now. Right, fuel cutoff. There we go. And we'll turn off that. We'll turn off that. Reserve fans are off. Main bus tie is on. And there we go. Let's see. Everything here is off. Taxi lights are off. And we can now move the passengers. Right, so let's see. Select the next load. Start unloading. How to connect the GPU. Connecting the GPU. And start unloading. All right, there we go. And there's the stairs. And we are now, the passengers are disembarking. Look at the lights there, guys. Again, very, very accurate. Those lights on the stairs is what you'd see on the real Dash 8. During nighttime, they are very visible. And they are definitely modeled here on the FlyJSim version. All right, let's take a quick look at this airport, and we're going to take a look at various times. So now just look at how beautiful the buildings are, the custom buildings there. You can see the parking lot area, very detailed. The actual buildings are very nicely done, custom 3D objects to recreate the look and feel of a realistic concrete building. Again, we can see the night lighting there, and this area here, which looks like military area here. Very, very nice use of the 3D custom objects, and the airport clutter is looking very nice. Let me change the time of day here so we can have a better look at the airport details. As you can see here, and as we move to the main terminal area, this looks really, really good, I have to say. Yeah, very nice airport. And as we zoom in and go to, let me go here and show you guys again the details. Nice details there. And this is the main entrance area of the airport. Again, this arrivals, baggage claim. Again, the use of the trees, the cars parked at the side there, giving the airport a very nice look. Nice reflective materials. Overall, yeah, I do like this airport. Definitely. Right, let's see here. Yep. Very, very nicely done. And here's the FBO. Again, fully modeled. There we go. So, what do you think, Carl? Is it accurate? How accurate is it? Harrisburg International Airport looks pretty nice with all those little details there. Fairfield by Marriott. Looks like this is a hotel. Yeah. Fly nonstop from Harrisburg to Nashville. Maybe that should be our next flight, guys. Maybe we should fly to Nashville next. Nashville is Nashville, Tennessee, isn't it? Yeah. Here's another look at the airport. Really nice airport. Really very, very well done. Probably the best airport by this developer to date. I think they really put their heart out in this scenery. It looks really, really good. And I do like, I would, again, I wish they would have included a bigger orthophoto area around the airport, but I think it looks really, really good. The ads all look cool. Yep. Good place to fly. Here's again another look at the airport. Again, I really appreciate the details on the aprons, the taxiways, and the custom runway textures. I think all of this really adds to the airport. The main terminal area is definitely very, very nicely done. I like that. I like the details there on the building. Gives it a bit of a, as if it looks used, so it doesn't look like it's a cartoonish looking airport, but it looks used, so that's all right. Let's take a quick look at the the light during nighttime. Again, this is what again, look at how they've done this. I love the night lighting, and I explain, and this airport is done very, very well. You can see the taxiways there and the runway hold short points. All the lights have been properly modeled to give the aircraft, to give the airport a realistic look. I like the terminal area. You can see the lights there, and the light splash is done very well. Again, here you can see it probably a little more prominent in this area. Very nicely done, really. Here's our aircraft again at the terminal area. Here, we can take a look here. There you go. Yeah. Now, is this... do they have anything inside the terminal? No, I didn't think they would. Yeah. Very easy on performance, by the way. The airport, if we bring up the counter here, we're getting about 46, which is the normal with the Dash 8 at on the ground. So that's something you'll expect with the Dash 8. Carl says that it's very accurate. I'm very glad. Phoenix Fluff, hello. The scenery includes the nuclear power plant too, by the way. Yes, it does. And I think we've seen it. I think we've seen it as we came into land. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, overall, very, very nice scenery. You've got the water tower here as well. So quite detailed. And covers really the entire airport area, which is very cool. They could have made this a little better here, the texturing here. But yeah, overall, I think it looks very, very nice. Well, folks, this brings us to the conclusion of this live stream. I hope that you've enjoyed the stream as much as I enjoyed streaming it for you. I definitely had a lot of fun this evening, and you guys have definitely made it worthwhile. And I will see you guys in the next stream. We'll probably be doing the hot start. I haven't decided yet, but more than likely we'll do another hot start flight. But until then, please take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you all very soon. Thanks for tuning in, and good night.